about the very first lady of the Republic of Ghana. My brother, my sister, she became the wife of Kwame Nkrumah. My brother, my sister, her life is about to mesmerize you. She was 23 years younger than Kwame Nkrumah. Yet she agreed to marry this man. What was the reason? Why did Nkrumah marry her? Today we are still in our series of the Heritage Month of Ghana. Today, my brother, my sister, I have something interesting I want to share with you. And I need you to open your ears and listen with rapt attention. This is the African History Class. Okay, today is today, and we are about to take our history lesson. Now, today we're going to be telling you things that you have never heard about Fathia, who is our heroine in the African History Class. Her story will bring tears into your eyes. I know that. I told you it will last how many minutes? 13 minutes. 2 minutes already gone. Hear this. She was born on the 22nd day of February in 1932. Now mark this date, 22nd February. How many of you remember February? How many of you remember when Nkrumah was overthrown? Today, my brother, my sister, I need you to open your ears and listen with rapt attention. She was born on the 22nd day of February in 1932. And she was called what? Fathia Halim Rizk. Fathia Halim Rizk. And Fathia is spelled Fathia. Halim is Halim. Rizk is Rizk. And she was born in Zaytun. In Zaytun, a district of Cairo, the capital of Egypt. Fathia Halim Rizk. And this is a photograph. As you can see, students sitting here with Kwame Nkrumah. This was on their wedding day. I will tell you more about this photo later. My brother, my sister. Hey, I am most excited. Hear me now. Now, she was born Fathia Halim Rizk on the 22nd day of February in 1932. She was 23 years younger than Kwame Nkrumah. My brother, my sister, she was born into a Coptic Christian family, what is known as Roman Catholic. That was what she was born into in Zaytun, district of Cairo. And she was the first child of a civil servant. Her father worked right there at the Egyptian telephone company. But he died when she was only a little child. So she didn't get to see so much of her father. But she remembered some of the few instances her father came home with a bar of chocolate because she loved chocolates. When her father died, the mother stepped in and became a single mother. She never married again. Now listen to interesting things. She went to secondary school right there in Egypt, and she studied French because she wanted to become a secretary. She studied French, so she spoke fluent French. She didn't study English, which was surprising because in Egypt, English was more popular than French, but she went to study French. Underline that, French. She studied French, and then she worked as a school teacher. Yes, she worked as a school teacher in a Roman Catholic school known as Notre Dame des Apôtres. You want to hear it again? Notre Dame des Apôtres. Remember, that is our Lady of the Apostles, Our Lady of the Apostles School, translated from the French. Notre Dame des Apôtres, or better still, Notre Dame des Apôtres. Notre Dame des Apôtres. Oh my God. This is the day the Lord has made. She taught as a school teacher in the school known as Notre Dame des Apôtres, or better still, Our Lady of the Apostles School. And she taught French and some other such subjects. But she lost interest in teaching. She actually wanted to work in the bank. And so she got an appointment in the bank as a teller. She worked in the Egyptian bank. And she enjoyed working there. Oh, she was such a beautiful woman. But most of the time, when men approached her, she said no. She wanted to look at her career first. Listen to the interesting thing. Now, in 1957, when this country was about to be granted its independence, not on a silver platter, but because of the struggles we put up and we got engaged in. Remember the 1948 crossroad shootings? Remember the rioting in Accra? Remember the Osu Alatamanche? Ni boni the first. Ni boni here, ni boni there. How can I divide myself into two? My brother, my sister, all those struggles led to our independence. The wonderful work of the women of the Gold Coast who rallied behind Kwame Nkrumah. We cannot underestimate the works of the UGCC. My brother, my sister, just before independence, on the eve of the new year of 1957, in other words, on the 31st day of December 1956, something interesting happened to Kwame Nkrumah and the rest of Africa. What happened? Stick a pin. Hear me now. This is the African History class brought to you by the kind courtesy of McBansey Perfumery. Give them a call on 0242 250-574 and go for the Spirit of Timbuktu line of perfumes. Hear me now. Now there was an early Muslim in Ghana who had studied in Egypt. In fact, the father of Said Sinari, today in Ghanaian politics. His father, my brother, my sister, was Alhaji Sali Said Sinari. He was a powerful Muslim. He became the very first chief imam of this nation. My brother, my sister, he had studied Arabic in Egypt. In fact, he was such a studious man. He was an Islamic scholar. Kwame Nkrumah invited him over and he told him, Alhaji, I want to get married. You know, we are just about to get our independence. And I need a wife. How many of us remember that Kwame Nkrumah had to leave his work as a pastor? In fact, his work, because he had impregnated a woman in the monastery. How many of us know that? Nkrumah set out to become, in fact, a Roman father. How many of us know that? Show my hands, students, if you knew this. Okay, all right. So you didn't know this. Nkrumah wanted to become a Roman father, but his libido was so high. In fact, he impregnated a woman right there in the central region of Ghana. And boom, he had to run away because he knew if the message came out, he would be sacked. So he stayed away from women all his life until he was getting into the presidency. And look at what happened. Now remember, all this while, the other woman in his life was the woman who became his private secretary in 1955. Oh, a whole year before he met Samia, I beg your pardon, Fathia Nkrumah. And she was called Erica Powell. Today we are not going to digress. So on the eve of the new year of 1957, Alhaji Saleh Said Sinari returned from Egypt with a woman. And who was this woman? Fathia Nkrumah. Better still, at that time, she was Fathia Halim Risk. Interesting. So see what happened now. He had approached 5 other women, and all of them turned down the marriage proposal of Kwame Nkrumah. It was only this woman, known as Fathia Halim Risk, who agreed that she would marry Nkrumah, and even that it was because of the president of Egypt who stepped in and spoke with her and said, listen, this is a great man. He is a man who is fighting for the independence of his country. Not only his country, the whole of Africa. He's coming to marry in Egypt here because of me. And we are talking about Abdul Nazar. President Abdul Nazar. Hey, she agreed. In fact, she came into this country as a virgin in 1956, December. 1956. How old was she at the time she met Kwame Nkrumah in 1956? She was only 24 years old. And Kwame Nkrumah was 40-something plus. Look at what happened now. When Nkrumah saw her, he was so happy. But she couldn't speak a word of English except to say good morning and bye-bye. These were the 2 English statements she could make. Good morning, bye-bye. That's all. When Nkrumah saw her, she asked Nkrumah if he could speak French. But Nkrumah couldn't even manage a single word of French, except to also say bonjour and au revoir. My God. They settled and got married right there in the Christianborg Castle on the eve of Ghana's 1957 New Year. Why do I say Ghana's 1957 New Year? Because it was the year of our independence. That is the year of Ghana. And this is the photograph of Kwame Nkrumah and the beautiful Egyptian princess, the virgin who came all the way from Zaytun. The only man she knew all her life became this man, Kwame Nkrumah. She started to learn how to speak English right after the marriage. So they married on the 31st day of December, 1956, entering into the new year of 1957. Oh, the new year had begun. She brought us a whole lot of good omen. And 2 months later, the independence of this country was achieved, and she became the first lady of this country. My brother, my sister, born on the 22nd day of February in 1932, she enjoyed her marriage. Even though Kwame Nkrumah became a very lonely man, Kwame Nkrumah is on It's on every Ghanaian's mind. Every time we think Ghana, we think Kwame Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah said one time that marriage is overestimated. In fact, he married not for himself, but because of Ghana. Fathia also married not for herself, but because of Egypt and Africa. The 2 of them married selflessly, and we are going to prove that in just a jiffy. See what happened now? When they got married, Nkrumah went with her to so many different places. They had 3 children. Oh my God. 3 children. Gamel, Samia, and Sekou. In fact, Samia was born, my brother, my sister, before Sekou. She was born in Accra, right here in Ghana. All of them. Gamel Samia, and Seku. Oh my God. Today, my brother, my sister, we are talking about Fathia Nkrumah, the woman who became Fathia Nkrumah. The women in Ghana celebrated this beautiful woman. There was a cloth in Ghana that was named after her, Fathia Nkrumah. Everywhere she went, Ghanaians never heard her speak one word to them. Unlike other first ladies who spoke to the people, she never spoke to the people of Ghana. She only waved and smiled. She did all her talking with her smiles. And she loved to wear the Ghanaian fabrics. Oh my God. She gave birth to her children. Unfortunately, my brother, my sister, there was a coup d'etat. Yes, in 1966, specifically on the 24th day of February. Remember, I told you to underline February? Yes, just 2 days after the birthday of Fathia Nkrumah, Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown whilst he was in Hanoi, or better still, on his way to Hanoi. And Nkrumah was in exile. From 1966, he never saw Fathia again. Fathia herself went back to live right there in Cairo. Zaytun. Oh my God. And her children were taken care of by her. A single mother, just like a mother. She took care of them. Nkrumah wrote a few letters to her. Some of them started working. Fathia herself saw how her children went through hell in order to survive. It didn't look like they were the children of the first president of Ghana. Some of them took jobs like cleaning jobs in American hotels and even in some England hotels. My brother, my sister, Fathia herself never saw Nkrumah from 1966. From the 21st, when he left Ghana, he never saw her again until Nkrumah died in 1972. When Nkrumah died, she cried a gallon full. And she wrote in her will that wherever Nkrumah would be buried, she would like to be buried there as well. Oh, she had a stroke and died on the 31st day of May in 2007. But while she was recuperating at the hospital, President Kufuor stood on behalf of Ghana and Kwame Nkrumah to pay her a visit. And she took care of all the medical bills. He took care of all the medical bills of Fathia on behalf of the people of Ghana. It's one thing I will never ever forget. That was what J.A. Kufuor did on behalf of Ghana. Honored this woman, and when she finally died, she was flown all the way from Cairo after the Coptic church did all the rituals and the prayers. She was brought here and buried side by side with Kwame Nkrumah, as she always wanted. Today, when you go to the Nkrumah mausoleum, her remains lie there, close to this man, a man she never knew, a man she never really was able to get very close to, a man whose language she did not even understand, a man who was 23 years her senior in terms of age. She got married to, a man she agreed to marry without ever seeing, a man she stayed all her life with until that union was broken on the 24th day of February in 1966. A man she grew to love, a man she vowed she would never take another man after. She remained like that all her life. It was only one man who drank her juice. It was only one man who ate her cake. It was only one man who ventured into her kitchen. It was only one man, oh my God, who took a bite of a cherry. My brother, my sister, today we remember you, mommy. What a sacrifice. We never knew A woman like you would be so selfless. Mommy, you left your home all the way. Zaytun, the comfort of your homeland. Your mother did not even bless the wedding because your brother ran away to England with an English woman, and she didn't want to be heartbroken again to see her very first child move into a foreign land to get married to a man she did not even know. Oh, but you still went ahead. You tried to convince your mother. She remained adamant. But you went on. She remained obstinate. You still went on. You came into a land whose language you did not understand. Whilst you were shouting Salam Alaikum to all the people, they were saying, good morning, welcome, good morning, welcome. And you stayed here, ready to push away every little thing about you and adopt everything about the new republic. Oh, mommy. Mommy. Yeah, mommy, me no go what. Mommy, me say me no go. Oh, mommy. Fathia Nkrumah, me say me no go what. Uchu me time Nkrumah, me say me no go. Uchu me time Nkrumah, me say me no go. Oh, mommy. Mommy, me say me no go. Mommy, me no go what. Yeah, mommy. Mommy, when you me go? Mommy, me say when you me go? Oh, mommy. Mommy, me say, yeah, mommy. Mommy, me say, yeah, mommy. Mommy, damn it, for you, what? Mommy, me say, damn it, for you, oh, mommy. Oh, mommy. Where, what? Hi. Mommy, me say, me no be ko what? Mommy, me say, famiko what? She died on the 31st day of May in 2007 at the age of 75. A single mother. All her life, she was born to sacrifice. Oh, mommy. Mommy, where what? Her grave is right here in Ghana. Today, when you hear this story, find your way into the mausoleum and give thanks and say, Mommy, yadawase what? Mommy, yadawase, the mother of our independence, that beautiful woman. Oh, Mommy. In the burden of knowledge, I ask you, how will the story of Fathia Nkrumah impact your own life in these contemporary times? In the burden of knowledge, I ask you, now that you know what to do, be an anio leya mini obafe, yenzunda kagane, mezaka yine, ye pabango, bukaya nang, fifia nya, nukai na wo, banaehu, ebe den, banaehu, ebe yabade, lele anjima singa be kone, lele anjima singa beri. Oh, menake tu ekonu, qu'est-ce que tu vas faire?